This is my review on X-Men 2, X-Men United. I'm still tired because I'm waking up from my nap this morning. And I don't know if I slept enough. But I did sleep a bit. And I'm still getting... I don't know if I'm getting used to these glasses or not. Maybe I am. But it's hard to tell. Does that mean I'm getting used to the glasses? So... Anyway, so... The movie opens up with... Wolverine... in the... snowy mountain runs into this wolf. And this wolf and goes back to the Edge Mansion after this Nightcrawler almost kills the President of the United States. A few members of the I'm sorry, I was reading a text from Dad. I didn't quite get it. So, a few members of the X-Men go to Nightcrawler. Turns out he was being brain controlled. And we find out that he's very religious. Very, very religious. And he's not in the third X-Men installment for some reason. And so, meanwhile, Wolverine is babysitting the kids at the X-Mansion, while the other X-members with Nightcrawler. And these people come and attack the X-Mansion. Wolverine and these group of kids escape, but the other kids get kidnapped. So, turns out this guy, General Stryker, knows Wolverine, and he runs into each other, and Colonel Stryker says how Wolverine hasn't aged a day, but he has aged, which he has aged, but Wolverine hasn't. Colonel Stryker, if we find out at some point in the movie, put adamantium and Wolverine's bones that gave him metal claws, which in the Logan movie, which is what's killing Wolverine adamantium because his healing factor is failing. But I'll dive more into that story when I get around to it. So, yeah, after Iceman confronts the family and admits that he's a mutant, the mother says, "Sweetie, have you ever tried not being a mutant?" Yes, because it's obviously that easy. You can just turn it off like a switch. I wonder what that switch does if it doesn't turn on any lights. Anyway, after his younger brother calls the authorities on him, because you would think that their bond between brothers would be stronger than prejudice, but apparently no, it's not. So after that, the X-Men reunite together, with Nightcrawler being now an X-Men member, temporary sort of member. I don't know, it's hard to tell because he's not in the third X-Men movie. As they go to Stryker's Island and they run into the Brotherhood, which is just Mystique and, well, Magneto. So, they team up, have a temporary alliance to take down Stryker and save the Professor, which is Magneto's oldest friend, and closest friend. So remember that little scratch stab that Wolverine gave to him? That what happened in the first X-Men movie? When he stabbed Scratch Mystique with his claws, and I told you how that was going to tie in. Well, that apparently turns her on for Wolverine. I'm surprised. So, yeah, a little after that, or before that, we see that, romantic relationship that between Cyclops and Jean Grey and Wolverine and Jean Grey. And how Jean has a heart for both of them. Anyway, and after that, Nightcrawler and Mystique have a conversation about hiding from the humans and blending in, and Mystique responds to, "You shouldn't have to hide who you truly are," to Nightcrawler. So, Mystique disguises herself as Wolverine and gets captured on purpose, only to kick some ass and gave Stryker the finger. And while the X-Men and Mystique and Magneto grew back together, they try to find out where the other children are. And they find out where the children are, and Mystique, Wolverine is supposed to go get the children, but he decides to do some more digging on his past, and which leads to a fight scene between Lady Deathstrike and Wolverine. Wolverine wins the fight. Lady Deathstrike dies, who is the second experiment, which is the much more improved version of Wolverine, which doesn't talk, sort of like Deadpool from Wolverine's origins. actually exactly that. Wait a minute, did they steal something from this movie? And decide instead of having a female in that shoes, have a male in that shoes? Huh, just dawned on me. Oh. So anyway, Wolverine meets up with Stryker and ties him to a helicopter. Tells him to go to screw it. Colonel Stryker tells Colonel Stryker to screw it himself. And after Colonel Stryker says that he was an animal before he wiped his memory, and he's an animal now. Which, fine, because in these first two X-Men films, we don't see any of that animal side at all. He's actually the most, what's the word, sophisticated X-Men? Well, he's the most relaxed X-Men. And the smartest. Unfortunately. So I guess for first trip, we really kind of cut that animal side out of Wolverine for when it came to the editing process of the both first two X-Men films. So yeah. So the Brotherhood, Mystique, and Magneto had the whole agenda thing total time and was going to backstab the X-Men no matter what. As soon as they got to Xavier anyway, at least. So the whole using the powers to kill all the mutants has been reversed now. And it's now triggering all of the humans to kill them. So the X-Men members, Nightcrawler and Storm, put a stop to the madness. And Jean Grey sacrificed her life to save the X-Men. Didn't really think the plan through. Don't know how I can explain it, the whole shooting thing because, well, honestly, I'm too tired. So, well, she didn't really think it through. I mean, you know, if she could bend the wall, stop the wall from hitting the jet, they could have just easily taken off without her getting out of the jet and communicating with through Charles Xavier to say goodbye and I love you to Cyclops and her other friends, apparently. So yeah. Yeah, so anyway, Jean's not dead at the end because there's it's hinting at the whole Phoenix thing. And in the water is I don't know if no one ever knows this, but when the water is rising and it's obviously Jean, it's in the shape of a phoenix. And Charles Xavier sensed that Jean's life, but rather than tell everyone and put them off the stage of grief, he decides to not tell everyone because he's a dick. And that's the end of the movie. And I really like this movie, even though it does obviously has a lot of problems. Well, not a lot of problems, but serious problems. But it's not too bad. It's definitely a lot better than the first one, but still the problems are still a little too noticeable. So, X-Men.